Hello. So, global shipping is a busy and high pressure world. So, it's not a surprising that mistaking happens, especially when companies are trying to save time or money. The recent case in Penang, where a tanker with 20 Chinese nationals was detained for anchoring revealed deeper issue. What first seems like a simple rule violation actually raises a question about how responsible the ship was managed and whether the crew utterly understood their obligation. Malaysia Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952 exists for good reasons: to keep shipping lines safe, avoid accidents, and protect the marine environment. So when a ship drops anchor without approval, it doesn't just break a law, it puts other risks and challenges Malaysia's control over its waters. Mistake might have come from company pressure, poor training, or just a confusion about the rule. Looking the accident through Holberg moral stats helped explain the crew reasoning in the end. Preventing a similar case meant improving a training, communication, and building a culture where safety and ethics come first.
The first factor that causes this issue is failures to obtain entering permission. In Malaysia, regulation related to ship entering are governed under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952. Every vessel must have permission from Malaysian maritime authorities before entering to ensure safety from the both sides, get the order, and comply with the law territorial waters. On that day, the captain of the tanker refused to cooperate with the enforcement officer by not giving the important document needed, and some crew also refused to follow enforcement officer eh, to allow enforcement officer to go back to their patrol boat. This action will disrupt port activity such as blocking shipping lanes. It can also cause a serious disruption if more one vessel anchors at the same time and higher potential accident and environmental hazard. The second factor that causes the issue is weak maritime surveillance. Gaps in monitoring can encourage the non-permission vessel to enter the territorial water without detection by enforcement officer. For example, when radar coverage along a port is limited, a tanker approaching from a lot of shipping lanes may slip through the undetected area. Since the system cannot locate the vessel's movement, the enforcement teams only detect the presence after vessel is already entered. This delay can make it easier for foreign ships to entering and stay in national water without early detection. This also happened because of limitation of petrol coverage at the Penang port. The government should enlarge petrol coverage by maritime enforcement to reduce the foreign vessel entering without permission. This incident continues to happen because of the limited power man during certain hours of certain weather condition. For example, during late night hour, a small patrol team is on duty at the same time. If rope seas make it danger for them to head out, they have to remain at the jetty only. In that period, a foreign vessel can enter the area and enter without anyone noticing immediately because the available team is too small to cover the large zone. The third factor that causes this issue is suspicious or commercial motive. Even though the report did not show any hidden motive, the action by captain and crew of the tanker can prove that they are hiding something that is illegal. That is because um, they don't want to enter at Penang port. Since the tanker was carrying petrol, there might be commercial incentive to enter in certain areas. They might be waiting to transfer cargo illegally, avoid port fees to reduce the cost, or do clandestine bunkering. When some crew tried to stop Malaysian enforcement officer from moving, this was a sign that the vessel was not ready for full inspection because they were hiding something or breaking the law. It can be cause they are worried about missing or incomplete document. A captain knows that incomplete paperwork, outdated, or doesn't match the ship's actual activity may try to delay the process or will be rejected. A tanker must declare the detail of the fuel, like what type the fuel, how much fuel it is carrying, and where it came from. The reason why they're choosing to enter without permission is because they can readily be used for a cover smuggling, ship-to-ship fuel transfer, needs specific authorization and tight supervision. There were several aspects that can be checked, like long hoses already connected for quick connection, transfer pump position, fender between the ship and another vessel, and long showing pumping activity. And the last factor that causes this issue is weak management and or neglect from the ship company. It can be influenced by incidents like unauthorized, unauthorized entering of the tanker with uh, 30 with 20 Chinese national. Lack of management from the organization often create a change of mistake. It cannot happen because this deal include foreign country. When a company cannot set clear responsibility for their crew, confusion easily happen during the inspection. Some tasks like maintaining logbook, preparing ensuring papers, or updating the crew list will be passes without proper accountability, leaving the captain unknown of who handled what. This can also affect the relationship between the countries. If this incident happen frequently, the crew and the captain are also comfortable with the organization's behavior and keep repeating the mistakes often without feeling guilty, guilty for breaking the law. Cargo manifest safety certificate and crew record that are important document. Tools may be outdated because the causing the ship to appear suspicious during the boarding check.
So the first step from the Colbert theory is the pre-conventional level. It focuses on the punishments and obedience. Pre-conventional level is the first stage in the Colbert theory of moral development, typically seen in young children under 9 years old, where the morality is based external consequence like a reward and punishment, not internalized with principles. The second phase is the conventional level. It focuses on social and order and law. Conventional level in Colbert theory of moral development focus on adhering to social rules, norms and laws to maintain social order and gain approval, moving beyond self-interest pre-conventional level. But before abstract principle, pre-conventional key aspect including the good boy or the good girl, orientation, preaching order, and the law and order. Orientation upholding laws and for stability, emphasizing and duty, authority, and the importance of social structure for the community well-being, not just a personal gain or punishment avoidance. So the last is conventional level is focused on social order and law. The Post-convention level in corporate moral development theory is the highest stage, where the individual bases decisions on abstract, universal ethical principles like justice, equality, and human rights, transcending more social rules or personal gain, often involving civil obedience to challenge unjust law for the greater goods, as seen in figures like Rosa Parks. This level, involving states like the social contract and universal ethical principle, empathize individual consequence and moral reasoning for universal betterment.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Aina Farhani binti Mazahid and my metric number is 299646. This section discussing the solutions to the issue of a tanker ship with 20 Chinese national detained for unauthorized anchoring in Penang waters by applying Colbert 3 levels of moral development. The solutions are proposed through the role of the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency (MMEA). They're responsible for enforcing maritime laws and ensuring safety within Malaysian waters. At first pre-conventional level, which is the first stage of Colbert model, individuals comply with rules mainly to avoid punishment. In the context of maritime enforcement, this means that strict and visible consequences can effectively deter unlawful behavior. To address unauthorized anchoring, MMEA can implement an early warning enforcement system for vessels entering Malaysian waters. This system integrates radar surveillance, automatic identification system signals, and automated radio notifications to detect vessels approaching or entering restricted anchoring zones without authorization. Once detected, an immediate warning is issued to the vessel, informing the captain that unauthorized anchoring violates Malaysian maritime laws and may result in heavy fines, detention of crew members, or seizure of the vessel. By emphasizing the severity of punishment, this solution aligns with the pre-conventional stage of Colbert theory. Foreign captains and crew members are more likely to comply because the fear of immediate enforcement discourage them from violating anchoring regulations. Next, at the conventional level, individuals follow rules because they value social order and believe that laws must be respected. In maritime operations, foreign crews are more likely to comply when regulations and expectations are clearly communicated. Therefore, MMEA can enhance compliance by introducing mandatory compliance briefings for all foreign vessels before they enter Malaysian territorial waters. These briefings explain important regulations such as designated anchorage zones, restricted areas, reporting procedures, and communication requirements. When this information is delivered directly to captains and crew members, compliance becomes a shared responsibility rather than optional action. This solution reflects the conventional stage by promoting obedience based on duty, cooperation, and respect for authority. As a result, standardized briefings help maintain maritime order and reduce incidents of unauthorized anchoring in Malaysian waters. Next, the last level is at the post-conventional level. Individuals act based on universal ethical principles and long-term moral responsibility rather than fear of punishment. To encourage this level of moral reasoning, MMEA can implement an ethical maritime surveillance training program for foreign ship captains and crews. This program focuses on raising awareness of the environmental, social, and cultural impacts of illegal anchoring in Malaysian waters. The training emphasizes why maritime laws exist by covering topics such as marine conservation, protection of seabed ecosystems, and the negative effects of illegal anchoring on fishermen, tourism activities, and coastal communities. By understanding these broader ethical implications, foreign crews are more likely to comply out of respect for Malaysians' maritime sovereignty and commitment to environmental sustainability. This approach encourages principled decision making even in the absence of enforcement, helping MMEA promote long-term maritime safety, sustainability, and international responsibility. Thank you.